Hello everyone and welcome to the Hunter Association, your source for all things Hunter x Hunter. My name is Kaige.
And my name is Dylan.
And on this week's episode, we'll be talking about Hunter x Hunter 1999, episodes 34 through 36.
End of the Zoldyck family. Arc,
Yes.
not the actual family itself.
Yeah, they've all died, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is the end of 99. Sorry, everybody, for this abrupt ending.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we will be going through our community comments. If you'd like to join in on the community and have your comment read, be sure to comment on the YouTube version on the weekly community post. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to help grow our community of Hunter x Hunter fans. Additionally, if you'd like to know when new episodes are live, click the bell to enable notifications. If you're an audio listener, make sure to rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at TXHXAPod, as well as Bluesky at THAPod for podcast-related updates and to submit responses to the weekly call-out posts. If you'd like, you can also still email us at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. As always, we provided timestamps in the description if you'd like to skip ahead to any of the aforementioned segments.
Yeah.
Okay, no news and no battle for Owl, so,
Well, okay, technically speaking, there's something I can talk about for news, I guess. But spoiler alert, it's only if you play Nen Impact.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
They released a. We can maybe link it in the description if Kaige remembers in post editing. But they released a survey that you can fill out for if you've played an Impact, and you can kind of give your thoughts on what you think about the game, basically, and they'll use that to go forward with future development for the game. So if you have problems with Net Impact, like both me and Kaige do, then definitely be sure to go fill out that survey, and so we can hopefully get a better game out of and product in general. They asked a lot of really interesting questions, I thought, in the survey. So definitely give it a look if you haven't yet and are interested in playing the game or you have played the game.
Yeah, I'm really glad you remembered to bring that up, because that is actually very important if you care at all about this game. It seems like they are putting an effort to make this into something that is a better product, so that's cool.
Yeah, they asked about the game's pricing, like what you think it should be priced at, and characters you'd like to see in the future, what you liked about the game, what you want more out of the game from, all those different types of questions. So it's definitely very insightful, I think.
I put Owl on the characters I want.
I thought about it, and then I took it a little seriously, so I didn't. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not the realest Owl fan in the room here.
You're not. Well, hey, now we know who's going to win the competition.
What if I'm just fainting it, though, to keep your guard down?
True. You're right.
Now, I actually can't remember who. I put 5 characters down. I'm trying to remember who all I put. I think I put Illumi and Nobunaga down at least.
Oh yeah, I put a lot of troop members. I think I literally put every troop member.
I think I limited myself to 1 troop member because I put Knuckle down as well. I need Knuckle.
Oh, I'm a sinner. I forgot about Knuckle.
No, okay. Well, we're evened out now. I also put Hanzo there. I'm pretty sure. I think Hanzo.
I did too.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
And I forget who the 5th one I said was. So, yeah.
Yeah, I put all the troop. Well, most of the troop members. I think there's a few I didn't. I can't really remember. I didn't put Franklin because I thought he would be shit ass in a fighting
Franklin
game.
Would be, I would not want to see Franklin in the game.
No. I put anybody that would make sense that isn't in the game already, and I did put Owl and Hanzo. There's 2 more. I'm blanking on who they were now. I don't know. Whatever. Pito and they're not Yuppie and Poof. Those
are okay. Respectable for sure.
Yeah.
For a split second, I thought about putting Tompa there in the box as well. I think as a joke character that would be hilarious.
That would be pretty awesome, actually.
But we'll see. I'm not particularly attached to that idea either, obviously.
Yeah.
Anyways, go check out the survey if you haven't already. Hopefully we'll have it in the description, but if not, you can check out both Net Impact and Arc System Works' socials for it.
Yes. All right, with that, I think we're ready to talk about these episodes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Everybody, welcome to our discussion on Hunter x Hunter 1999 episodes 34 through 36. Starting off here with episode 34, Skateboard Apprentice Honesty.
Suitable title, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. So this episode starts with a really cute, watercolor. Well, I guess it's not watercolor. Whatever you call this, I don't know what it is. It's cute though.
I don't know the exact term for it, but yeah, I something I really like about 99 whenever it does these moments is just how it looks, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do this for a few different episodes throughout what we've seen so far, and yeah, this is just a very cute thing that they kind of tie back to later in the episode as well.
Yes.
And just a nice aesthetic choice, I think, to open the episode with.
Yeah, it's super cute. It's I guess it is emulating watercolor, but it's not exactly watercolor.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to emulate like a picture out of like a book, basically. Right?
Yeah,
so
it looked really cute though. And so I also, real quick, just right off the top, I want to mention I did some extra research this time around. Ooh. I just on my lunch today, in fact, or well, actually, I guess before I went to work, even I was just like, you know what? Let me just bring the volume that this arc takes place in, because it's literally a 1-volume arc. And maybe I'll just read it over my lunch, and I did. I read the whole Zoldyck family arc again.
Wow.
I don't know. I just feel it because it's like a 5-chapter arc. Like why not? I don't know. It's like a 30 minutes of research.
Kaige didn't want to get caught lacking on the Lario door situation again.
That's right. Yeah, I'm now fully. The first thing I want to mention is that Kurapika does change clothes, actually, but I mean, there's no indication that they're red in the manga, so that part is like, that's, I don't know, maybe Togashi told them to make it red. I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
Or that's cool.
Yeah, he is wearing that outfit. I guess I forgot. I mean, why would I even remember that? Like it's for 5 chapters and then never again.
It makes it seem so pointless in hindsight, right?
Yeah. This ended up being kind of a lame one to do this much research for, because there really aren't that many differences. It's it's pretty much 1-to-1, except for the skateboard thing, which we'll talk about here.
I thought that was different. Yeah, okay. So we can definitely discuss that as we go.
Yeah. So obviously we're here with Canary. Their big trial. They're one of 2 trials in this whole thing. And obviously she's just being stone cold, like they want to go through, but she's like, hell no. They're just
don't cross this line, right?
Yep, do not. Oh, by the way, we only mentioned the fact that the beginning part was watercolor, not what it was. It was about it's about Kilo and Canary, like as when they were younger. We'll touch back on that later. And he seemingly gives her a gift, which is this little skeleton thing, which is also not in the manga, but.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was so confused with that.
Yeah, I don't. It's like in her staff, which is interesting. I mean,
very creepy.
I'm not sure off the top of my head if that is in the staff in the manga, but I at least am pretty damn sure that Killua doesn't give it to her if that is there.
Killua killed a small being and got its skull just for Canary. How sweet.
There appears to be nothing at all in her staff in the manga, so okay. I just more 99 nonsense. I don't know. Whatever.
For the aesthetic, right? That's the lesson.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it's you know how this scene plays out. She's not letting them through. Gon walks up once first, just steps over the line, and gets knocked back immediately. Sent flying, as a matter of fact.
I like how fast they animated like every single swing that happens with this, though. I think it really added to the impact of it, personally.
Yeah, very impactful. What wasn't impactful was the sound effect, though, I will say.
No. Did it like cross your mind too as you were watching the first half of this episode that it felt very like One Piece like in both its pacing and sound effect usage?
Honestly, yeah, I didn't. That didn't cross my mind, but you're not wrong at all.
It's just lingering on. Just lingering on the same moment. It's just reusing same animation frames and then using the same sound effects for everything.
Yes,
maybe
that'll
not
become more apparent later, but
yes, maybe not to the degree that One Piece is famous for, but it definitely struck me as like wow, that's something, all right.
Yeah, and This. So before I even watched 99, I had always heard that this series had incredibly outdated sound effects, even for the time. And until this point, I guess I did notice it, but maybe they just weren't used as often or they weren't as loud. I don't know. It just wasn't really hitting me in the face until right now, where it was distracting, to be honest. These sound effects are they're like from the fucking 50s. Like they sound like the first ever recorded sound effects.
Like something you'd hear out of like Tom and Jerry or
yeah. I almost expected Going to do like the Tom and Jerry yell. It's rough, and the fact that we have to keep hearing that same like hitting sound effect over and over, and we're supposed to be taking it seriously, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think it's because like it happens so many times in succession as well that's why it stood out to us, I would imagine.
Yeah. Anyways, though, this continues. By the way, Canary has red hair in 99, which is really weird looking, and I don't like it.
I'm not like mad about it personally. I think it looks like okay still. It's just different, right? It's like Karapika's red like outfit all over again for me, almost.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, another sound effect thing that made me laugh is whenever she grabs Leorio's tie when he goes up, it plays that same rubber sound effect. Got a rubber tie, I guess.
That's part of his flesh, don't you know?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're conditioned to know that sound effect as meaning flesh. So what does this say about Leorio here?
Intriguing, isn't it?
It is interesting. That's a thinker.
Also, I didn't remember until watching this that a canary's like staff is like a pointed end to it. I was like, that kind of threw me for a loop. Whenever it cut to that, I thought it was like a whole entirely different weapon. I was like, what the hell? Like, how's this
very
happening?
pointy?
Very pointy stuff.
So yeah, this episode has a lot of padding, of course. I mean, I can especially see this because I literally just read the chapter earlier today, where this whole canary thing is just one chapter and definitely not a 23-minute episode of an anime.
Yeah, I looked on the Hunter x Hunter fandom page as per usual for some extra research, and this entire episode covers that one whole chapter and one page of the next chapter.
Yeah. Yep.
So
it sure does.
And it definitely feels like it for sure.
Yeah.
This episode is very slow.
It really is. And that's just evident here by this next scene where they step away from Canary for a bit to just like wash up in a river.
Yeah.
And effectively they are talking about nothing. It's really just like they're just talking about what just happened. You know, it's like, oh, wow, I can't believe she did that to us. There's got to be something to this. Like, going... I mean, the one thing I guess it does... It vocalizes what Gon was thinking in this moment about how, like, there's more to her. Like, he can see this glint in her eyes. Like, there's a little something more to it.
Yeah.
But it's all completely needless. And the way it was in the chapter is fine. We don't need to have this spelled out for us.
And that's the thing, right? Like we see from what scenes are about to follow, especially like it's spelled out for us in like visually, right? Like with what's happening. But yeah, I don't know. It was a whole lot of just episode like padding, like you said.
Yeah.
Just like them talking about what they're feeling and what they're gonna do. You know, it just I don't know. Wasn't necessary, right? But like I wouldn't be as mad about it if it didn't take like 2 or 3 minutes of the entire episode.
I know.
Just on that scene alone.
It's a lot. Also, padding out the episode is the skateboard subplot.
Yes.
Where it was shown very briefly at the beginning of the episode. But we're getting more into it now. Where Killua had left his skateboard with Canary along the way up to the mansion, and she's not really sure if it was like a gift or whatever. She just kind of says like, "Oh, Killua gave it to me," and she's guarding it. She put it by a tree and she drew a big circle in the ground around it. I don't know what that's supposed to do, but
it's like a sea bear circle. Like
that's right.
Protecting it.
Yeah. So yeah, they noticed that on the way back, and that's that further drives home the thing with Gon when he's thinking like, okay, there's something with Canary here, some little behind the scenes happening.
I will say on that note, what I do like about how they're adding on to that subplot though is with Karapika and Leorio specifically, and how like the contrast with how they're reacting with seeing Killua's skateboard there with Canary versus how Gon reacts to it says a lot about their characters in general, I think. And I appreciate that for what it is, because Gon is very like inquisitive about it. Like, okay, like something's up here, like this means something to this girl that I don't even know her name yet, right? And he's a very caring person that reflects in how he's thinking about that. Whereas like Karapika and Leorio, they immediately think like, oh, like did like Killua would never like part with the skateboard like that.
Yeah.
Like something bad must have happened, and they're ready to like fight this girl over this now.
Yeah,
because they think something bad may have happened, and that shows their protective natures in general, right, of their friends. So I really like that. I think it highlighted their characters really well. This just subplot in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so exactly as you say, they get stanced up, like they're ready to fight. They think something's up here. But Gon approaches directly in her face as close as he can get without crossing the line, and questions her about the skateboard, where she says what I said before. She just says that Killua basically left it here. Didn't really give it to her, just kind of left it here. And there's also another little like sort of subtle moment here that I like, where Leorio and Karapika, or just Leorio, is like, yeah, I mean, it's insane that he'd ever leave that skateboard at all. He was with it all the time when we saw him. And then Canary kind of butts in and is like, well, yeah, I mean, he's had it his whole life too. He's never parted ways with it then. And that kind of shuts Leorio up for a second, like, oh shit, well, she knows him too.
Yeah. And that further leads into the whole point of this exchange though, which is that Gon is slowly but surely getting Canary to open up about what Killua means to her, and just in general kind of find out how important he is to the both of them in a different way, right? So I've always really liked this kind of like scene as it played out in 2011. It's my main way of experiencing that.
Yeah.
But I gotta go back to this point though. Unfortunately, it does take a while to get the point across in this scene though.
Yeah, it just kind of beats you over the head with it. Like it's this episode is basically telling you the same thing in like 6 different ways. Yeah. And it's kind of exhausting. Like by the 3rd time of them sending the signal to me, I was just like, all right, guys, I get it. We can talk about something else.
And we can wrap this up now, right? Like, but they beat around the bush so much of actually getting to the conclusion of this in so many different ways, and it's hilarious. Like we've already talked about it earlier about how they, she's just kind of like beating them over the head with her staff, like literally, and hearing the same old sound effects the entire time. My favorite part of this as well was when they eventually cut to like the overview of like the land and how it's like changing time, and all you were hearing is that stupid whipping sound effect for like 10 seconds straight. Yep.
That's all you hear for an extended period of time. It's truly baffling. I was like the first couple times, I'm talking about this scene in particular where it's showing the landscape and hearing that sound. The first couple hits, I was just like, all right, yeah. And then it kept going, and I just started to crack a smile. Then it kept going. I just busted out laughing. Like, are we really just doing this? We're just looking at trees, hearing this cartoon-ass sound effect. That's the episode.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's something. But yeah, it plays out like it does. It's just incredibly elongated. Gon keeps getting his ass kicked, or his face kicked, more specifically.
Yeah. I like some of the animation that was happening, towards the end of the exchange, I should say. When they're not using still shots and whipping sound effects as much, right? Yeah. Like in particular, I think about like one of the final times Canary knocks Gon down, like the blood kind of splatters on her cheek a bit, and Gon has this scene where like his hair is like kind of dripping downwards over his head, like it looks like he has like wet hair almost, but like, and he's spitting out blood, and he has a line that I kind of liked. It was like, dang, I've been knocked down so much, like I have so much dirt in my mouth, I can't tell my spit from blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. like kind of it just shows this kid's like determination and
Oh, yeah.
actually getting through to her, you know. And this thankfully is where we actually get like the juice of the scene, and I think it's pretty well adapted, personally.
Yeah, I do too. So yeah, as things wind down, we're getting back to where the manga is. We're like at, I don't know, dusk right now, time wise. Been like
Yeah,
good chunk of the day has passed, and Gon just been getting his face bashed in.
entire day.
Yeah. And so Canary is finally just like, okay, like enough's enough. This is getting crazy. Like, are you ever gonna stop? I don't want to kill you.
Yeah. You can never cross this line.
Yeah. And she's even like begging at this point, like pleading, like just please stop, just enough. But Gon.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, well, Gon keeps pulling up, and then we get the moment. Of course, it's not as good as the 2011, but she says, "You know, why don't you stop? Aren't you his friends?" Looking at Kurapika and Leorio, and we get those stone cold faces. And Leorio's face is not quite as good as 2011, but it's still good.
Mm-hmm. It's very good still. But yeah, the Canary kind of starts realizing that, you know, how important Killua is to, you know, to these strangers, you know, to her, right? And then Gon is finally at this point breaking through to Canary, being like, you know, you still haven't even told me your name. Like, you know, who are you to Killua? And that's when we kind of start getting like the not necessarily like a breakdown from Canary, but like we start kind of learning that, right? She opens up to Gon finally, and they kind of have a moment with each other, and I think it's really cute here.
Yeah, for sure. She, he just asks his name, and asks her name, and she does finally end up saying that it is Canary. Wait, when is that? Hold on. Wait, I skipped a bunch of stuff. Wait.
Nice.
Sorry, you tripped me up.
Pausing. Sorry.
Hold on.
Hold, guys. Hold. Technical difficulties.
Dead air. Okay. So she's talking about how she's kind of just like bargaining with herself to make this to make her job her priority in this situation, where she's just like, I mean, you guys aren't even qualified to be his friends. Like, come on, this is nothing. This isn't real. Killua doesn't have friends. He can't have friends. And she looks down at the little skull thing in her baton, which is this keeps being funny to me now that I officially know that is not in the manga. Like, what a weird addition.
Yeah, like, why is that so important?
It was a gift, I get it, but like it's that same thing I was just saying. We're being told the same message like 6 different ways. It's just like, all right.
Yeah, because we have the skull that's what being implied as like a gift, but like we have the skateboard. Like,
and
too.
Just also the literal flashbacks we see of the two of them. Like, do we need more? I think we get it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
To touch on that while we mentioned it here, you know, the little flashback Kaige is referring to, it kind of ties back to how the episode opened up, where we kind of get more of that, like, you know, watercolor-ish like image, and we kind of get the whole picture painted for us.
So the flashback, well, I guess the flashback isn't a whole lot. It literally just shows that he did in fact drop it. It really wasn't. It wasn't like a gift exchange. That really did happen the way she said it did. But to Killua, it was probably a little more than that. She's just not really, you know, admitting it. And there is also a thing that I like that they keep saying, how she's just like Mike, who is literally just a guard dog. And you know,
us, the viewer, you know, it definitely looks like it, right? It's just this insurmountable like guard piece of the Zoldyck estate that nobody's able to get past. But I really like that Gon kind of just, you know, helps Canary open up to the fact that, you know, she's more than just a tool, you know? She's her own person. She has her own thoughts and feelings about other people that she works alongside with, and that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
It's a really nice, simple message that I always really like to see whenever I go back to this moment.
For sure. And it also ends in a really cool way here, where Gon, his face is completely bashed in, bleeding, looks like shit. And he just kind of he resets the conversation back to zero. He says, "My name is Gon Freaks. Kilo is a friend of mine. How about you?" And she starts by just being like, "Oh, I'm a servant of the Zoldyck family. And Gon's like, "No. You're more than that.
You're a canary. You told me your name.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you're an apprentice, as he says. You are canary first and
That's
foremost."
right. Yes.
And I really like how he references the line here as well. Like, you draw a line and you won't step over it just because you are a servant.
Yeah.
You drew that line, though. It's in your power to step over that.
That's right.
It's all a mental barrier, right? I don't know. It's just, again, really simple message, all things considering, especially since they beat us over the head with a stick with it consistently. But it's one I like nonetheless. So, just once we got to this conclusion, I was thoroughly invested.
Yes. And then, as Dylan was talking about, we do get the conclusion to the watercolor thing where we see the moment where Killua gives her the little skull thing. And it's, he does it because he's just desperate for a friend. And because they're a similar age, he's just like, well, why not you? But she can't do it because her job and all that. So he could
very similar to how he saw Gon at first as well, So,
yes. And also just like how... And also very similar to how he leaves the skateboard. Just kind of drops it. Doesn't exactly give it to her because it's like a roundabout way of giving a gift. Yeah, just cute little thing there. All completely original, but I like it well enough. I don't think we needed this and the skateboard, but
no.
we got it.
It's the same message, just multiplied by 2, right? So,
yes, it literally is.
not needed, but for what it is, it's cute. So I'll let it slide, I guess.
I'm already pre-laughing talking about this next moment because so obviously the whole thing culminates. Canary gets like shot, right? You'd think that would be like a tragic moment, like, oh my god, so intense. She just got shot in the head. However, they decide to play the same damn sound effect that they've been playing this whole episode when she gets shot in the head. And I just fucking lost it. It was like, it's like a perfect comedy setup. This almost feels like a sketch. Like, they were conditioned to find this sound funny. And then all of a sudden, the most serious thing in the world happens and they play it again.
In all fairness, I don't think they ever meant for that sound effect to actually be funny, but that's just how it translated to our brains because it's so old and just like cartoonish.
It sounded awful, and that's just like, I really don't think that's the sound that should be used for something like that. I mean, I don't know what she got hit with ultimately. I think maybe a rock. Well, I don't remember.
It was from Killua's mother, right? So it was like a fan that she was holding, I assumed.
Oh, okay.
Like a fan. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Also,
probably
was there, so
Yeah, it could have been either one of them. I don't know. Maybe it was a paper doll.
Either way, it wasn't lethal, as we find.
It wasn't lethal. But as a cliffhanger, you're supposed to, like, 2011. They do a really damn good job of making you think she's dead. She's actually bleeding and stuff. But here,
she's just kind of scratched up when we see her.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll bring that point up again later with Silva and Killua. They're just really weirdly averse to like blood, but they're also not. I don't. Whatever.
They pick and choose their moments with it.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, as you mentioned, we kind of end off the episode here then with seeing Canary basically look like she got shot, and then it pans over to Killua's mom and Kaluto just standing in the trees, basically.
Yep, that's right. So that's that episode. It was fine to good. It had its moments. Like,
it was okay. It was just very... Yeah. I just don't... The first half of the episode was just a drag, namely. But
it was.
There was some decent looking animation in there, though, and I like the moment in general that they are adapting here, so... It is what it is. I enjoyed it well enough, but definitely had a pacing issue throughout some of the episode.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's not as bad in the next 2 episodes we're about to talk about.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So next up is episode 35, Killua Punishment Family Meeting.
Fitting.
So we are meeting the Zoldycks in this one. I was excited for this one. We get to hear their voices, see their character designs. And yeah, I was excited to see all these guys. So first up, obviously from the end of last episode, we get a better look here at Kikyo and Kaluto.
Yep.
Kikyo, who I often forget about because she really has zero relevance beyond this part of the story.
No,
but
yeah.
She does exist.
She shows up. She does exist. I gotta say, I really liked her voice work here.
Yeah.
Stood out to me for whatever reason. It's not even like a particularly original voice, obviously. It's just like, think of like an annoying anime mom, and like that's probably, what she sounds like in your head. But
yeah.
It was very fitting for the character, though. I liked it.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I liked it quite a bit. We don't really get to hear a lot of Kaluto speaking, but you like a little, like I think just saying like yes mother, like that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, after sniping Canary in the head, Leorio rushes over and immediately confirms like, oh yeah, she's fine. She's chilling. Just kind of has like a bruise, basically.
Yeah. It's like, it was like there's no damage done to her at all. So Leorio's just like, yeah, she's passed out. So
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's all good. But Gon gets serious, like, why'd you do that? And I mean, Kikyo, obviously completely dismissive of this entire situation. She could really not be bothered by anything happening here. Just making small talk, just being like, oh yeah, so you're going.
Well, she does kind of almost immediately does tell Gon, though. He's like, oh yeah, Killua has a message I'm going to relay to you.
Yeah.
Word for word, she says.
Word for word.
Yeah, word for word, huh? Okay. As we see later in the episode, she's not the most truthful. But she said, really, Gon, thank you for visiting me. It makes me really happy. But right now, I can't see you. Sorry.
All right,
that's what he said.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he could have, but who knows? It doesn't really matter. She's a liar anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it perfectly. But this is where we actually cut into the Zoldyck mansion for the first time, which is where I got really excited. This is what I was kind of anticipating throughout this arc's adaptation.
And I was immediately impressed by the lighting. It's actually not that bad. Like, it looks kind of cool.
It was never too dark, and in the moments where, it did need to be kind of a darker lighting, it was like the perfect balance, I thought. Mm-hmm. Made for really cool scenery. Especially what we open up to here with like Milky whipping Killua, right? It looked very very appealing to me.
Yeah, so, the whole theme of this episode is the Zoldyck family. We're getting properly introduced to them, and they do this cool thing, which I actually quite enjoyed, where as we introduce new members of the family, we get flashbacks to when Killua broke out of the mansion, and we see what happened with each of them as he was leaving, which I thought was pretty neat. Yeah.
It's very cool. Because throughout most of the series and its adaptation, we just kind of hear like, Killua broke out, and there's not really much detail to it aside from that. But being able to see it here, and that's how we're kind of introduced to his various family members as well through that medium. It's really cool, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. So obviously, first up is here Milky, everybody's favorite, right?
Yeah, my favorite Zoldyck member.
So he's just doing his best to torture Killua, but he really doesn't care at all. He's literally falling asleep.
He is asleep the entire time.
Yes, he's asleep. He does like he lights a lighter on him, which I'm pretty damn sure it wasn't in the manga. I'll double check here real quick.
Yeah.
It was. It was actually, it was a cigar though. Wow, wait.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh, wow. I already forgot about this, even though I just read it earlier. But yeah, Milky he's smoking on a cigar the whole time.
What in the world?
And then he puts it out on Killua.
That somehow gives him less aura than when he's
It does. It does.
Anyways, yeah, he puts a lighter on Killua, and he's like, "Oh, hey, that's hot, man. Come on, you know."
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Obviously, not bothering him at all.
Yeah.
This is purely just to demonstrate, just like Killa was on a whole other level than fucking Milwaukee, right?
Yes.
Which always appreciate Milwaukee getting dunked on in this series.
And then he gets to know his place when Milwaukee decides to start threatening going on the others. He's like, I could call mom, ever get the butlers on their ass. And
then Killa immediately breaks one of his chains. He's like, I will kill you right now.
Yep. Do not touch them. And then Zeno walks in.
My favorite Zoldyck member. That's
easily. Yeah, I love Zeno so much. And here he is. His voice is, it's old man voice.
It's Zeno, yeah. That's what I expected.
Yeah.
It's good, though.
And he basically just tells Kilo he's free to go. Like, immediately.
Yeah, he tells him that the old man wants to see him, in particular.
Yes, Silva. And yeah, so he lets Killua go, and then I guess this happens a little later, but I want to talk about the part with Milwaukee right now, where he where Milwaukee's going on and on about this new invention of his. I think it's like a small bomb, right? It can like go inside somebody and blow up, whatever. And he's just rambling on and on for so damn long, all this nonsense. Like, Grandpa, aren't you so impressed? I'm so good. I'm awesome. I'm gonna get so many kills with this. And as Miluki's doing this, Zeno literally just walks up and leaves. And Miluki doesn't even notice either. I love that so much.
That scene made me laugh. And yeah, it shows Miluki is just so self-absorbed and unlikable, and then Zeno is just the goat.
He's the goat, yeah. He's such a real one. So then we actually cut back to Gon and Kikyo and them, who Kikyo introduces herself in Kaluto.
And then almost immediately they're like, oh, we have to go because as you can kind of infer from the scene, Kikyo kind of can see like everything at once that's happening in the Zoldyck estate with her visor.
Yeah, I would love an explanation about what she is. There's probably like a data book entry about her, but I've never read it.
I actually looked on the fandom page again for her character profile specifically, just because I remembered so little about her. Did you know she's apparently born in Meteor City?
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting,
right?
So she was the one that married into the family then?
Yes.
She wasn't the Zoldyck originally. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Cool little tidbit I just completely didn't even know before going into researching that. So, but yeah, I don't know. There's like very little known about her though, obviously.
Yeah.
Anyways, so she almost immediately is like, okay, we need to cut this conversation short. Sorry guys, have fun, go away, basically. She starts rushing back to the estate because, what are you doing, Grandpa? Why did you set him free? Why is he going to go talk to his dad? Don't do this. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
She's a paranoid mother.
Yes. So she hurries off. And that's when the Miluki and Zeno scene happens. But I already talked about that. So then we get the flashback about Killua and Kaluto. Like what happened with them. Which is, I thought was pretty neat. Because... Well, it's technically Silva's flashback, I guess, but Kaluto's more of the focus, I guess. It shows that both of them do nothing to stop him, both Silva and Kaluto. Kaluto kind of just watches, and Silva's, he's just in his chair back there doing literally jack shit.
As Silva does, yeah.
Yeah, but Kikyo's the one, like, freaking out, like, oh my god, we gotta stop him. And then we'll get more on that later. We all know what happens, but, that's literally, that's the only thing they really say prior to this that he did. He says that he, hurt Kikyo. But we'll
should also note, just for, sequencing's sake, that at this point in time now, Gon and the others, and Gon, Canary, Leru, and Kurapika are all now heading towards the other butler's mansion, I guess. Mm-hmm. That happened shortly after Kikyo left.
Canary.
Like, okay, I'll take you to the butlers now.
Yes. But now... Probably the highlight scene of this episode, I would say, is Killua talking to Silva. Where we also have this big dog, which is...
Yeah, did you remember the dog as well? Because I sure didn't.
I did not remember the dog. I like it though.
Yeah, it's a very big dog though.
It's huge, and it also plays that like another whack ass like eating sound effect, but they did not animate the eating at all. There's not even like food on the ground whenever he leaves that spot.
It was so it was so like obvious they just didn't want to animate a dog eating. But it was so really weird because like they just like hid it behind like this like pole thing.
I know.
Was it Killua's seat? I don't even know, but it looked so
I think
weird.
It was. Yeah.
Just the framing of that scene in general is really weird. Either way, that's not really the point of this scene, but I just
no, it definitely isn't about this dog. But so Silva just asking like dad questions like, oh, so you made some friends, how's the exam, yada yada. Keel is giving like very, one note answers, like just very clear. He's intimidated. He doesn't really know how to talk to his father like this. Not used to it.
Yeah, and this is something I really like about this scene across all adaptations as well. Just is it's a very real feeling scene, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think
absolutely.
a lot of us can relate to having uncomfortable conversations with loved ones like this, where like it's just unnatural feeling almost, right? Especially for someone like Killua who was essentially raised to have no feelings or attachment at all due to being an assassin, right?
Yeah.
So it's very. It feels very out of place for both them and as us as the viewers here to just see a conversation, emotional, mature conversation like this happen, opening up about personal lives, between father and son.
Yeah.
But they're also assassins. I don't know. It's just very out of the element in every single way, and that's what I like about it.
For sure, yeah. And that even like this whole thing culminates. Well, it doesn't culminate, but he does end up inviting him to sit next to him, and he's like, that you and I have never really had a father-son conversation before. Let's try it out, basically.
Yeah.
So he does, in fact, sit by him, and this is after they break the ice a bit. Nothing too notable happens during that conversation. I'll say it's more so just it's literally just icebreakers. Like they're slowly. Well, it's more so one-sided. Silva's just working Killua to get him into a more comfortable state where he will sit by him.
Yeah.
But he does have like a very, caring look on his face. He seems like to genuinely want to hear about what he did during the hunter exam.
What his journey was, everything that happened.
Yeah.
Genuine interest.
Mm-hmm.
And as we see, there's kind of layers to that intent of why he wants to understand Killua, right? But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just a nice scene, a bonding scene in general, though, because there is like a relationship kind of forming to another level throughout this interaction, and you kind of see it happen in real time as the conversation flows.
For sure. And then this is when we get I think the last bit of the flashback where we actually don't get to see him like hit Kikyo, but it happens like off screen, and all the while Kaluto is still watching with a completely blank facial expression. So just hinting a little bit towards Kaluto's nature. Yeah. And so the two of them in the present, Kikyo and Kaluto, are just kind of sprinting back to the mansion. Yeah.
Who does Killua think he is? Think he can go make friends and live a regular life?
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
What I really a detail I really liked in this scene though is like as like they're running and they're running back to the estate. Kikyo's like visor turns into like a TV.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing. I thought that was kind of neat. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they do some fun stuff with the visor. I liked it.
Yeah. I don't remember 2011 ever doing something that what sort of creative, I guess, with the visor. I feel like it was just kind of like a static like light the entire time she was on screen. But
yeah,
to that end, 99 impressed me with that.
Yeah. And so then we actually do get another part of the flashback, but it's outside of the mansion. It's of Canary is reflecting on it on when he left too. And I liked this scene too, although it surprised me that Killua didn't know her name until right here. But
yeah, that feels so unbelievable to me. I'm not.
It's
gonna lie.
actually I don't think that's possible, but we gotta roll with it. But yeah, it's basically just like, he thinks that she's probably gonna try to stop him, but she doesn't, and yeah, it's like,
And
aren't
she's
you
like,
gonna
well,
stop me? She's like, yeah, well, I gotta, first and foremost, I gotta obey your orders.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, obviously Kilo wants to leave, so she lets it
Like,
happen.
what's your name? Canary. Well,
Okay.
take care of yourself, Canary.
Yep, that's
and he's
it.
off.
Yeah. Cool.
Stuck with her, obviously. But,
yeah, it sure did. So then we cut back to Kilo and Silva, and they're really hitting it off. They're talking, laughing about, I think something. Yeah, I think Kilo was talking about Gon versus Hanzo.
Yeah, they're talking about specifically how Gon was like, well, I don't want to get stabbed.
Yeah,
so, let's find another way to end this fight.
Yeah. But then Silva just like completely cuts him off.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny too. Like,
I know.
Just getting to you're about to, it's funny to me when you also think about the fact that like the next logical thing to talk about even after the Gon Hanzo fight concludes is how like, well, maybe it's not so amusing. It's just something I pointed out, but it was amusing to me. Like even just like thinking about it. The very next thing that you would talk about is how like Killua got like brainwashed by Illumi and then
yeah.
So, you could read that as Silva maybe just wanting to be a little kind to Killua and not bring that up. You could also read it as Silva just not actually giving a shit the entire time.
Yeah,
Both would probably be valid.
Yeah. But he does get straight to the point with it. He cuts him off and he's just like, do you want to see your friend? And it completely changes the whole vibe. I was just, I mean, do you really got to do this, man? Like, come on. Just enjoy that nice moment with your kid. You were laughing too. Don't pretend you weren't. It just tells him.
This leads Killua to kind of think about it, right? He's like, well, I don't even know if I deserve to be Gon's friend.
Exactly.
For leaving him. But Silva has some wise words for him. He's like, instead of regretting the past, why don't you just be honest with what you feel right now? What you truly want to do right now. And
yeah.
Obviously, that's to go be with his friends, right?
Yeah. That's yeah, like moral of the story here is that Silva's style of parenting is obviously very different from Kikyo's. He wants,
yeah.
But I'll save this part of the conversation until we finish up here. But basically, he just kind of taps him on the head and is like, well, actually,
go live your life.
Yeah, basically just live your life. He kind of admits like, yeah, I kind of forced like this whole lifestyle on you to begin with. Like I haven't really let you have any freedom to become your own person. Because he sympathizes. He at least seemingly sympathizes. We don't know the whole thing here exactly, but he was raised the same way, and he understands that it wasn't right. It was frustrating to just have your whole life like laid out for you with no way to carve out your own path.
Yeah, and so he proposes to Killua here, like, go do what you want to do. Go be with your friends if you want to be with friends, and if it doesn't work out, you can always come back. There'll always be a place home here for you.
Yeah. So he asks him again, "Do you want to be with your friends?" And Killua says, he actually doesn't say anything. He just nods, but that counts.
Yeah, it was basically yes.
Yeah. And so then he does the whole promise thing. You have to promise me one thing, and then he bites his finger, and it just looks like a weird, like...
It looks like he just, like, bruised his thumb.
Or he just, like, drew on it with, like, a red marker. Like, it's just... It's supposed to be bleeding. Like, you cut open the finger, like, a blood pact, but it just looks like they're, like, bumping together bruises.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It does not look like blood.
Like mosquito bites.
Yeah, but they're touching mosquito bites, and also they don't show like them actually like animating biting down their thumb either.
No,
they like, cut away both times they go to do it.
It's really whack. I wonder if it has anything to do with just the fact that it's self-harm. Like that's what the differentiating factor is.
Maybe, but that's a very like,
yeah, I don't know because they've shown blood, showed some graphic things in this before, but you can't show thumb biting.
Like we alluded to earlier, they're just very like they're very picky with where they choose to actually like put like blood and just like more not gore, that's not that far, but like
Thumb gore.
yeah, but like yeah, they're very choosy with where they actually want to implement like blood and like
Yeah, they really are.
it's so weird. But anyways, yeah, they do the promising. He's like, promise me you won't betray your friends.
You won't betray your friends, yeah. Yeah, and the thumb thing kind of like the fact that it's just like a weird red mark, it kind of hurt the scene slightly, but
yeah.
It's fine. It's still a sweet little moment.
It's more about the messaging here than anything else, so
yeah,
I can let it slide a little bit.
Yeah. And of course, Kilo says he never will. And then he sets off. He starts heading out. And he
grabs his iconic backpack.
Yes.
Oops.
And then he runs into Kikyo and Kaluto. And she tries to tell him that the three of them just left. Might as well give up. Just go back to your room. Like, come on. Really? You know better
Best
than that.
lie of all time. Yeah.
Yeah, they just dipped. They got all this way. They just went home.
She couldn't have thought of anything better to tell him on like her entire trek back home.
No, yeah. She had all that time to think, and that's the best she came up with. I would have said they got like killed. Well, no, because then he probably would have got pissed.
Yeah, that would have been more unbelievable too, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there wasn't a good lie to tell in that case then, but like, you could
yeah,
have come up with something a little more elaborate, Like, oh,
he wasn't gonna believe it regardless. Like he would have went and verified, even. It's
yeah. The point is that anything that Kikyo says here is in vain, right? Kilo has made up his mind, and that's shown with the very icy glare that he gives Kikyo right before he leaves.
Yes, which is what Ilumi said that she praised him on the first time. So obviously she's very into it right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where she
gets like the staticky visor again after he's like step aside.
Yeah, she's pretty impressed. And then she goes and talks with Silva and Zeno, I guess, where she's just like, what the hell are you guys thinking? Come on, like why are we just letting this kid leave? And Silva just says that this is, there's a pretty interesting line here that I don't remember, where Kikyo says that I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but this was interesting to me, where she says that this is the most important time for Killua's development. I guess that makes sense. He's what, 12, right?
Yeah, I think so. 12-ish.
It's interesting that an assassin family, like, because I feel like in real life you also view it that way, right? Like when you're raising a kid, this is probably around the age where they're the most impressionable and like they're starting to become their own.
Yeah, the puberty age, just in general.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
But it's interesting to hear it in the context of like this assassin family who raises their kids exclusively to be assassins, and how they still view it the same exact way. Which makes sense because, like, if they're at this impressionable age and Killua goes off and spends his time with his friends and stuff, I guess I could see the concern for him turning out to be somebody who they do not want him to be.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a really nice thing to think about when you consider the fact that, like, even building up at the beginning of this arc, where we're kind of introduced to the idea that, like, the Zoldyck family in general live, and it's mentioned almost this exact same way multiple times. They live in an entirely different world than the rest of society in general, right? But then, you see moments like this where, in a lot of aspects, it's very similar development as any other family. It's just, in the assassin context, obviously, but all the same nonetheless.
Yeah,
it is interesting.
Yeah, there's just some, I don't know, it just piqued my interest there, hearing them say that so casually. It's just like any other parent. Also attached to that sentence is also to be the heir to the Zoldyck family. So that's that's not normal family stuff, but
no.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just interesting to me. But Silva then shuts her up completely. Actually, yells at her. It's like, shut the hell up, basically.
Close your mouth. Like, okay, man.
Quit
That's your wife.
Yeah, he doesn't really give a shit. In fact, she's probably into that.
Yeah, actually, you're so But this is where we kind of see another layer of Silva
Yes.
open up and see, maybe, he's not entirely a good father, even with that conversation that happened with Killua, right? There was ulterior motives there.
Yes, and what those ulterior motives are, we don't really know, but he does say, one day he will return, even... Oh, wait, the sentence just glazed by. Hold on, let me get back to that. One day he'll return. Even if he goes to the end of the world, he'll never find anywhere else to belong but here. Because he is my son.
Yep. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. And you know what? Even with all the knowledge that we have now of what's happened to Killua, Silva might not have been entirely wrong with his prediction on how things go with Killua, right? Obviously we don't even have a conclusion to him return to the estate or anything. Obviously he's kind of out on his own with
well, he did return for Aluka,
kind of,
but
he did
that
return.
Doesn't really count.
Yeah.
It's definitely not what Silva had in mind.
No. But in a way, he kind of was on the I don't know. Silva's a very, very smart individual, right? Obviously, but this kind of goes to show he's not maybe. He is kind of manipulative of Killua here, but in a way that's not as hands on as someone like Illumi, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Poor Killua. That's really all I have to say about it. He lives in a fucked up family.
He sure does, and it makes you wonder, because we obviously see that Killua and Silva don't have much of a relationship, and I have to wonder if that's all intentional because Killua knows Illumi's shit. He knows that he's a manipulative bastard, but I think Silva can get away with the conversation he had with Killua, and Killua can even leave that with a favorable impression of him because he really doesn't know his dad at all. And that's probably a very calculated thing on Silva's end. He wanted his first, father-son conversation to be a positive, impressionable memory that will stick with him. Because that's how he wants to be remembered by Killua, so he can have more of a reason to come back in the future.
Bingo. Exactly. Yeah. Nail on the head. And that's what makes Silva stand out from a lot of the other Zoldyck family members. He's very cunning compared to the others, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Such an interesting character that we still don't even really know a whole lot about because, he's involved in a couple different things after this arc, but, largely really is only in this arc, right? So, something I think about from time to time.
We will see him again in this adaptation. But
we will, yeah.
Nothing to do with Killua.
No, yeah. In regards to Killua specifically, this is kind of all we get out of this character.
Pretty much.
Definitely makes for an impactful scene nonetheless, though. And I think 99 did a good job with the adaptation of it.
Yeah.
Mosquito bites aside.
Yeah, bumping mosquito bites. I like his voice a lot, and his design is, for the most part, good. He does look a little weird in some shots. I think they might have made his character design a little too complex. Just too many lines on his face that not every animator could quite draw it right.
Yeah.
But he looked good most of the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the end of the episode. The other boys, approach the Butler mansion, and we see Goto, and that's pretty much it.
Yep. We end off on that.
Yeah. So solid episode. This was our dedicated episode to just get a look at the whole Zoldyck family, aside from a few, obviously, that we don't see. Maha.
Yeah, Maha. Where is he?
Where is he?
Yeah, no, good episode. I enjoyed it. Definitely more than the first one of this batch. Pacing was just so much better overall. And just the content of the episode itself was just more engaging to me as well. But that goes without saying, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Which brings us to episode 36, Coin Toss Reunion Change of Clothes. Who changes clothes in this episode?
Well, I guess if you count Kurapika going back to his normal outfit,
I guess, yeah.
Aside from that, nobody, I think. So,
I don't think so.
Not. I think the first time I get to say this, not the most fitting title for an episode.
No. So this is similar to the first episode of The Batch, where this is a pretty dragged out, adaptation of a singular chapter.
Mm-hmm. Although, to its credit, instead of adapting one chapter and then one page from the next chapter, it's one chapter and then 9 pages from the next chapter.
Yeah, so not terrible pacing, all things considered. Like, we get the whole thing. It just feels really slow. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's a byproduct of just, like, the actual content they're adapting here isn't the most exciting thing to animate, I feel like. And that kind of shows with how the layout of the episode is.
Yeah. But, thankfully we do get some other stuff beyond this in this episode. It's not the entire episode is the Goto stuff. So, some credit there, but it was kind of dragging as it went on. And this will also be pretty easy to talk about because it's really just they play this coin game. I'm not...
There's only so much we can talk about the coin game goes.
But yeah, Goto welcomes them in. He plays the nice guy act. I mean, and also he really is just a nice guy. He's really playing an act during the game, but whatever.
That's my goat.
That's right. His voice is not what I was expecting it to be. It's
cool. Was it like, because 2011 was like fairly like not like the deepest voice ever, but like it had a bit of like it was deeper, but like it was very like light here. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it works, but it's just not what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he sits him down. He just kind of small talks. He's just saying he's Goto. He's the head butler. Make yourself comfortable. Sits him down in a chair.
Yep.
Yada yada. And then,
welcome to the butler estate.
Yeah, welcome. And then he says that Kilo's actually on his way here right now. I'm like, oh hell yeah, Let's go. We win.
Yeah, we won, guys. We didn't even make it to the Zoldyck mansion.
Yeah. But to their credit, they did make it to the butler estate, which is probably the furthest almost anyone has ever gotten.
Surely, yeah.
So he proposes that they play a game to pass the time while Killua gets there. And they're like, okay, sure, why not? And it starts simple, just coin toss, grab it, which hand is it in?
Mm-hmm.
They get it right twice. He picks up the pace on the second one slightly. Then do it a third time. Right. Yeah, time to lock in. That was just
the warm-up.
Yep. I'm adjusting your eyes. So then he flips it up in the air and he does his hands fly around all over the place. The sound effect sucks because of course it does.
The sound effect sucks, but it looks like decent at least.
Yeah, it looked cool.
Like for considering the time period of which this was animated in, I was impressed with it.
Yeah, I like it in 2011 more by quite a bit, but whatever.
Oh, for sure.
Still look good here. It was conveying the speed well. So and now while he's holding the coin from that last one, he starts to reveal his fake self, I guess. He's like, okay. He's saying, so if you answer incorrectly now, you're out. Actually, is that before or after he talks about the Killua thing? No, okay, that's before.
A good question, actually.
That's before. Okay. He says that a little bit later. But he's saying if you answer wrong, you're out. All three of you answer. Whoever doesn't get it, out permanently. And they're kind of
if all three of you are out, you're gonna, I'm gonna tell Killua that you guys left without him, basically, and you're not coming back. So
yes, and that's when he says that he kind of views Killua as like his own son, practically. And to be completely honest, he says the thought of you taking Master Killua away from here infuriates me.
So very protective of Killua, obviously. Yeah. And obviously we know that this is just an act from him, right? But I kind of like this in the context of that, like, in a way, Goto is kind of like testing like his friend's like capabilities, right? To see if like Killua will actually be okay, like being with them. I'm sure he thinks Killua will be just fine, but he wants to. I don't know, just that protective nature that Goto has is a quality that really shines through here with this little game. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like.
Yeah, for sure. So they get the first one right, and when he reveals it, the coin is like crushed in his hand, which I liked.
Yeah, that
He's
was a nice
so
detail.
pissed. Yeah. So he pulls out
That's
another
a very
coin.
good act.
Oh yeah, he's a great actor, evidently. So the coin game happens. Actually, one more detail to point out before we just kind of speed through it is that they put Canary at knife point.
Yeah, that's kind of a asshole thing to do during just like a whole act. Like,
yeah, I mean, she was in on it. I guess it's just to add tension.
Yeah, but I think I'd be a little stressed if I had a giant like knife sword to my throat the entire time.
Yeah. So okay, now the coin game just kind of happens. Like, Leorio's out first, then Kurapika goes the last one left. He asks to borrow the knife on the table.
Yeah, the fruit knife.
Which, like, I really wish he just explained himself beforehand. I know it worked out, but like, just to ask for it and not explain what you're doing with it is so bold. But
yeah,
he got
they
it.
allowed it though.
Yeah.
Well, granted, they had a knife pointed at his throat like the entire time.
True. Yeah, they did. They did. But it's still, he could have just said whatever. It doesn't matter. He did it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
he laces his eyes
Yes.
so that it's not as swollen.
Yes.
So he can actually see out of both eyes.
Yes. So he locks the fuck in, and he gets it right.
Yeah.
Shocker. They kind of congratulate him, clap for him, but then he's like, "All right, time for the real shit." And he lines up 2 other guys beside him, does the same thing, flips up in the air, and now all 3 of them are waving their arms around. Who knows what that coin's doing? I can't even fathom. They're probably just like bouncing around.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to do in this situation, but Gon evidently does, as he cracks his little boyish smile. It's just like, it's the guy behind me.
Hell yeah. Yep, and
Love
he was
that.
right. That was the answer. And now they drop the act. They're like, hell yeah, dude. Good shit. Bravo.
That was awesome. We really passed the time there,
Yeah. And Leor even looks at his watch. He's like, oh, damn, yeah, you're right.
It's
awesome.
It's like, I don't know, something about Leorio's reaction.
Yeah, I know.
really
Just
made
like,
me laugh.
this was just like a really life or death situation. He's just like, oh, shit, yeah, time flew by.
But yeah, Goto is that guy, obviously. He's a very nice dude. Just, I don't know. Felt like a test in a lot of ways for Killua's friends here.
Yep. And so then they bring Killua in, and they reunite. It's not a super extravagant reunion, evidently, but
No.
it's cute.
I like how he's like, oh, they're going, your face is kind of fucked up, man. He's like, wait, yours is too, man.
Yeah.
I like that. And also what made me laugh is him completely butchering Leorio's name because he just forgot about his name.
I love that.
Riolio, I think is what he called him.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
they're definitely the background characters to Killua, but what can you do?
It's all about Gon for him.
Yep. So yeah, they talk and catch up. Although Goto looks on like a proud parent. He's just happy that he has a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're about to leave, Gon specifically shouts out to Canary and says that don't worry, we'll take care of him from here. And she says, yes, I'll leave him to you. And Killua looks on at this interaction, just like, what the hell?
He's like, okay, man, like whatever you say.
Yeah. But then Goto kind of eggs her on. He's like, there's something else you got to do. As they show off the skateboard. And,
yeah, you almost forgot this.
Yeah, it tells him, almost forgot this. And he's like, no, you can keep it. So now it's like actually a gift, I think, is kind of the point of that whole thing.
Yeah. This was intentionally like, hold on to that for me, instead of just like dropping it.
Yeah. So that was cute. And
yeah.
that's all we get from them. But then we got a cute little scene with Gon and Goto, where he's just kind of like, it's like what's the thing from SpongeBob, where he's like talking about the Krabby Patties with Squidward. What's the line like?
You like Krabby Patties.
Yeah, you like Krabby Patties. Don't use Squidward, but with Killua.
Yeah, because Goto's all like, we don't have any attachment to our employers, like, we're big chillin'. And Gon's just like, nah, you're lying, man.
Yeah.
You care.
Yeah, he knows. And then before he leaves, he does one more coin toss trick. Well, this time it's actually a trick because he does a thing that Kurapika, of course, Kurapika will explain later. Again, we'll get to that.
Getting to it before we even get there, but it does a very slow catch this time. He's like, which hand? Gon's like, left hand, duh. And nope, it was in his right hand. So
yeah. So, interesting.
How did that happen? Yeah,
this will be a mystery for the whole series.
Yeah, surely, right? No, Detective Kurapika will be on
it's so fucking funny. Like in this one, this is almost as good as the shoulder tap moment for me because Killua is literally about to explain it. He's like, yeah, man, that was such a classic trip from Goto. And then Kurapika just like, yeah, so I figured this whole thing out right this second. Let me tell you all about it. Oh my god, I love it so much. I hope this continues.
Oh my.
So it's trick where he has two coins, one in each hand, and he flips it into his sleeve, whatever one.
Yeah. So
didn't guess. Whatever.
One coin in each hand. He only flips one coin in one of the hands. He does the whole arm moving around thing, right? So, but he catches it with the coin with the hand that he actually flipped it in. Obviously, he has both coins in hand, and he's essentially able to just like. The whole idea is that you have your palms outward so that they can't see you actually slip the coin into your sleeve on the other side. So you can play whatever game you want with that, right? With that trick.
Yep. But Killua does mention that Goto likely only used that for that last one.
Mm-hmm.
He probably played the game fair.
Yeah. He doesn't like the cheats.
And then Gon and Killua just kind of talk about Goto for a second. Just, it's cute, I guess. This isn't in the manga or anything. Just getting slightly more into Killua's head about how he feels about things, which is that he doesn't feel anything about anything.
They were talking about how scary Goto would be if he's mad, and Killua was like, yeah, man, no, he's scary when he's mad.
Yeah.
Something about this scene that I couldn't help but think about though is that like they're like doing all this like gossiping and talking like right next to Leorio and Kurapika trying to sleep.
Yeah. Come on, have some respect. I mean, they are kids.
They are kids. Sure. But like, man, I'd be pissed if I was trying to sleep and I was just hearing gossip like the entire night right next.
Yeah, me too. So the boys arrive at the airport, and they're just kind of talking. Oh yeah, so I guess we're probably gonna go our separate ways now. What are you guys gonna be doing? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh well, I mean, you're probably gonna want to go find your dad or like go back to Whale Island. He's like, hell no, bro. I gotta punch Hisoka before that.
Hell yeah. And he's like, I can't do anything else until I do that.
Yeah.
That's our protagonist.
Yeah.
Also, I need to note here, Kurapika actually did not change back to his normal outfit, like I somehow thought. So, sorry.
But he will.
He's still
next time we see him, surely. Well, actually, it'll be another new outfit, but it will be blue, hopefully, unless they make that red too. But I don't think so. That'd be
surely
crazy.
They don't.
No, I.
Anyways,
sure
yeah. So Gon's gonna go punch Hisoka in the face.
Yep. But he has no idea where he is.
Yeah, Killer is the question that, well, do you know where to find him? He's like,
about that.
No.
So, of course, Kurapika chimes in. He's like, well, I know where he's going to be. Because he told me. And so this is where we finally get the real scene of him telling people what Hisoka said to him. Not the weird ass. What?
He did mention specifically that's not specifically
it was
Hisoka
after
told him. Yeah, like in the match, but when he questioned him orientation was over, that's
Yeah.
when he revealed that he's gonna be in York New City September 1st, and he wants Kurapika to meet him there.
September 1st in York New City. So, tells Gon the same thing. That if you want to meet Hisoka, then be there, be square. And so,
and then but there is another question. That's 6 months away. What's gonna happen? Well, what do we do before then?
yeah.
So, obviously, we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Arena.
We do also get a little tease of York New. They're just kind of talking about it while showing the city landscape. Just being like, yeah, there's going to be a big auction there.
Likely that the Phantom Troop and its associates will be there, so.
Yep.
And that feels Kurapika. He's like, I'm going to get a job before then so I can take place in the auction.
Yes, that's right. And Leorio says he's going to start working to become a doctor.
Yep. He doesn't have to pay tuition. Lucky bastard.
Yeah, seriously.
So he's going to go back home in the meantime.
Yes.
But he does say that he will rejoin them on September 1st in New York New City.
So they'll all be there. And obviously, Kilo is just like, nah, I'm sticking with you. So
wherever Gon goes, I go.
Yep. And so they depart, except for Gon and Killua.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of our little. I can't call it a trio. What do you call 4 people? What is it?
Quartet, I think.
Quartet. Yeah, there you go. Quartet. Our little quartet has disbanded for the time being, but we will see them again sooner rather than later.
Okay, I guess a quartet is specifically a group of 4 people playing music or singing together, but...
Well, they do that, right?
Yeah, they do that, sure, later. At least once, right?
Yeah. So, to my surprise, I went ahead and looked. Heaven's Arena is only 8 episodes, which is somehow less than 2011.
That's...
So
I'm a little worried for how the pacing will be for that then, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that it's that short. I was almost certain we'd get filler, but maybe we still will, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out.
To give a little bit of hopium to it, I guess. I feel like if there's any arc where like you could probably speed up the pacing a little bit and it not be the end of the world or as noticeable, Heaven's Arena isn't like the worst choice for that, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it kind of depends on how they do it, I think, and where that pacing is kind of intensified. Because if it's like during like the whole like learning Nen stuff, well, that might be a negative actually for that part specifically. But I don't know. It depends on how they do it, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really curious to see how this goes. It's this is something we've been looking for. I mean, more specifically, we're looking forward to York New, but Heaven's Arena gets us Nen, which is exciting. I'm very, very excited to see how Nen works in this adaptation.
Heaven's Arena, I think, is just a very pivotal part of the series in general for a lot of people, including both of us. So, it's always been something I've been looking forward to, especially after how long the Hunter exam was for this.
Oh my god, I know. Holy shit.
So, we're finally there. Starting next time we're discussing 99 on the show. So, thankful for that. But that'll be a discussion for next time, I suppose.
Yes.
So to cap it off with our thoughts on this last episode of this batch. I thought it was good. Obviously, kind of similar issues to 34, the first episode of this batch, where a lot of the same stuff is happening, just kind of being dragged out over one scenario towards the beginning of the episode, right, or like first half. But I like Goto, so wasn't that bad, and just all leading into what we're about to discuss next time, which is Heaven's Arena. So that's really all I'm looking forward to. So this episode was fine, I think, overall. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bad.
Yeah, overall, you could probably say that for this whole batch, really. Like, it was kind of it was just like a serviceable batch. Wasn't anything too crazy, but I liked it. It was a pretty good adaptation. Just some weird random additions like 99 likes to do, like the skateboard and the skull thing.
Yeah, that's 99 for you.
Yep. But it was a good time, and I I'm ready to move on though. Obviously, I can't say like, oh man, this arc dragged because it was so short. Like it's already over. But Hunter Exam sure did drag, and in some ways, this arc is kind of just an extension of Hunter Exam because it's so damn short you can hardly even call it an arc. But we're getting our first real like game changer arc. It feels like we're gonna be getting then.
Yep.
We're gonna be getting introduced to a lot of new characters, none of which will be mainstays. But
No.
I was so excited to see them nonetheless. Wing and Zushi are my boys.
Just then starting to be developed next time we're talking about the show is just I don't know. It's gonna make it stand out a lot more from all of the episodes that we've seen up until this point. So very excited for how that'll translate to the presentation of this anime.
Yeah, and it is. At first, I was like, man, it's gonna be so weird to not have Leorio and Kurapika around, but now that I know we're only gonna be without them for like 8 episodes, it kind of doesn't feel like much. Like
they'll be back before we know it, right?
Yeah, it's really not that long, but whatever. It will be weird once we get to Greed Island, I think, because we're gonna be without them for like well over 20 episodes then, so that'll be interesting. And then we just won't see them ever again. Actually, that'll be really weird.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, but looking forward to Heaven's Arena next time. And I think that's pretty much all we got for these episodes.
Yeah. So I guess on that note, we should go into what you guys have to say about this batch of episodes.
That's right. Let's do it.
Okay, now it's time to read what you guys have to say about Hunter x Hunter 1999 episodes 34 through 36. Usual reminder, if you want to get in on the fun discussing any given topic week to week, make sure you keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts, as well as the call-out posts on Twitter and Bluesky. And of course, if you're an audio-only listener or you just want to email us your thoughts for whatever reason, you can always do so at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. So not a ton of comments to go through this week, although we have a couple long ones, as per usual on the channel. But we're going to start off today with Bluesky from Milu Kitty. I love Chapter 34. Canaria I'm assuming that's maybe how it was localized for your language. But
probably.
Cool name. Yeah. But Canary, obviously. It's so pretty, but I think 2011's design is much better. I completely agree. Mm-hmm. I think that's not a hot take at all. No. Episode 35, I absolutely hate the fact that Zeno calls Milky Milu. I didn't... Oh, that's real bad, actually.
That's rough, yeah. That's not a name you want to share with someone.
No, that's so sad. I didn't notice it until exactly today. Day ruined.
Day ruined.
Also, he had the name before I was even born. I'm kind of angry. Oh no, yeah, he could be interpreted as like being named after him now. That's even worse.
Yeah, just tell people that.
Why does Kaloto wear lipstick? He slays.
He does, yeah.
He does. He rocks it.
Yeah.
Silva says he has 5 sons. Yay, Alika recognized. That's right, yeah.
But misgendered. Because of course he would.
Yeah. I feel like Silva is much gentler in this adaptation. It's a little weird. I feel like it was kind of a similar tone in 2011.
I think it's exactly the same as it was in both the manga and the adapt in 2011.
Yeah, the gentler kind of touch to his character kind of it's supposed to be that way to kind of like show how like actually like conniving he is when he does reveal like I know Killer will come back, like I want him to be the heir of this throne still, obviously he has intentions for him that maybe Killua doesn't exactly want right now.
Hey, look at how sinister he looks when he says that in the manga too. Like he's all blacked out and shit. Damn.
Yeah, if that isn't telling, I don't know what is.
Like something's up there, but we still have no idea to this day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe.
And then episode 36. Why is Goto dark and violent in this chapter? I always view him much lighthearted even when he was annoyed by the crew. Well, I mean, it was a facade, right?
Yeah.
It was just an act, as we kind of discussed. So that would be why. Also, Canary is so tense in this one. Poor girl.
Assumedly, she
but
was
also-
also acting, but I guess we don't fully. Oh no, I think we do know because she filled him in on everything before they even started the game.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did forget about that detail. So, I mean, whether she was in on it or not, I don't think she was maybe that as tense as she looked. It was probably just an act as well, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Cool chapter, episode. I know they were just playing, but it felt serious. The boys reunited, so cute. Let's go. Arc finished. Promise made.
That's right. They'll meet again.
They will meet
In
again.
8 episodes.
And yeah, it'll be like within a month.
Yeah. We'll see them again soon.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for writing in as always, Mila Kitty. Appreciate
Yes. Thank you, Mila Kitty. All right, here he is already. Insert name coming at you hot. Who starts off by pissing me off. Says, I hereby formally apologize to Sequin and Zebra. Not funny. Not funny. Grow up. Come on, insert name. I'm kidding. I promise not to mess up their names again. Yeah. Sure, buddy. What did he call Sequant? He called him like Pequant last week.
Something like that, yeah. Pequant.
Anyways, he says, the animation in this episode is really good. The creative use of imagery reminiscent of a children's drawing really works with the flashback stuff, and basically everything around the Canary Gone confrontation is done superbly. Yes. The way they make her hair move before she does gives a sense of build-up before extreme motion, and the way Gon's face contorts after the beating is very evocative. Yeah, that's true.
We didn't really touch on it a whole lot, but I did like how, like, progressively as the scenes went on, Gon's face just very visually got more and more and more beaten up.
Yeah.
I really did like how they built that up throughout the episode.
Yeah, they killed it, for sure. The scene is built around the punch of the whoosh sound effect they use, and I think it gives it a real impact as each round of the sound effect builds up tension and is interspersed with good visuals showing how the damage is accumulating, even if I'm not a fan of some of the still images. So you like that sound effect, huh?
I can see the take. I can respect it, I think. There is a... Personally, it didn't really do a whole lot for me, but I could see how by repeating that same sound effect over and over again, it kind of gives like a more tense impact and build up as the scene carries on, right? But
yeah,
I think it just took me a little too out of it with how just a cliche, I guess is the best way to put it, like that the sound effects sounded for me. But I can respect it. I can respect your take on that.
It sounded like something I'd hear in like a Newgrounds Flash animation in like 2005. It really took me out. I don't know. But whatever. I don't know. It's also so funny to imagine. Like we had the complete polar opposite. Like I was laughing my ass off during that moment, but you were probably like philosophically sitting there, like hand on head, like, damn, this is deep. Fair enough. I respect it.
This is why opinions are such a great thing.
That's right, yeah. The confrontation just has really good scenery. The trees are some of the more well-done ones in 1999, having different tones, depending on the shot from grayish to green to blue, but all working within the shot's necessities whilst not being repetitive and nondescript. In particular, the zoom-out shot of the confrontation is beautiful with the warm tones of the sun and the cool blues of the forest. Framing the confrontation between Canary and the gang is so good. They also do this thing where they add a little patch of blues and greens to the red skies, and I really like that. Yeah, it looked really good. That's definitely more analysis than I put into it, but I did really like looking at that first episode in particular. I thought the lighting was really well done.
Yeah. Just in general, I think the lighting was credit where credit is due. You know, for as many issues as 99 does have with the lighting at points, there wasn't really like any issues with it at all in this batch of episodes.
No,
So,
yeah, they actually did really good
kudos to
with the
them.
lighting. Yeah. The reflection in Leorio's glasses is so cool, and Leorio just generally mogging everyone this episode though, without the discreet meme shot you get in 2011. I love the effect they do on Gon's shadow, where it's just a bit wavy. I didn't even notice that. Beyond the presentation, this is probably my favorite depiction of the scene. Wow.
Ooh.
The addition of Killua's skateboard subplot gives the cast more clues as to the personality of the person they are interacting with, and it just does a good job of presenting that Canary simply doesn't want to be doing this while making you feel the beating Gon is giving. I do miss not seeing Gon decimate one of the stone pillars with a punch, but everything else we get here is simply fantastic. Killua in a pink onesie, did that happen? Oh, in the flashback? Yeah, I guess.
Flashback.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, he's wearing it right now, actually.
Yeah. It's under his clothing at all times.
There you go. You get it now.
Yeah.
Definitely more hot on it than either of us.
Yeah.
But I respect it here. Truly.
I do. This is the biggest discrimination between our opinions that we've had in a while, I feel. I think the last time I can remember this is the Hisoka scene from the Hunter exam, but
Yeah.
when he went crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of I liked this, don't get me wrong, but I thought a lot of the additions were just kind of pointless, and it's just kind of like it's directly telling you something that can be subtly conveyed and was subtly conveyed in the source material in 2011. So I don't know why we need to be like beaten over the head with the messaging, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
I can respect it.
Yeah, that's my main point of disconnect as well. But I think what makes me really respect your take on this more so is just like the presentation of just like Canary going over the head literally like over and over and over and over again. And I feel like that's different enough from how like something like 2011 presented the scenario that kind of gives us a little bit more character, I guess is the best way to put it. So I can respect this being your favorite in that sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Continuing on with an insert names comment. On to the next episode. I'm not a fan of the Kabuto design. Much prefer the 2011 version.
Well, I will
I haven't put that
say
much onto it, but I'll
that
agree with that.
Kaluto in this looks pretty much exactly as he does in the manga. I think 2011 just did the thing again where it uses like the design from later in the series is like a standardized design. So I don't know.
I think that design is better though.
It is, but I can't really blame. I mean, look at this. This is what he looks like in the manga. That's literally what we saw in the episode. Can't really.
I mean, that's fair for sure.
Yeah, but I get it. I do also prefer the later design too.
Killua's mom, wait. You make it sound as though we are torturing Killua, and then the immediate cut to Milky with a whip with Killua tied up. Hilarious. Oh yeah, that was how they cut to that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, Killua's mom being truthful again.
Yeah.
I love seeing the Killua leave the mansion. It's super fun and pretty much how I imagine it. I find it really interesting that the light source for the Zoldyck hallway is the bottom corners, but I kind of
Okay, that is something I did notice. Like, yeah, the light source that makes like kind of no sense at all. There's also parts where like there's just like a massive shadow on like the bottom of the screen. Like, what the hell? How does this make any sense? But I thought it was at least like I could see what was happening, so I can appreciate it for that reason.
Yeah. It's very nitpicky stuff, all things considered, right? But it did look a little odd, admittedly.
Yeah.
The animation in both the Killua and Milky scenes, in both the Killua and Milky scenes, are simply fantastic to the expressions, to the use of lighting, to the backdrop. It's just very polished. I particularly like the way the handcuffs break apart and Killua's "I'm going to kill you" expression. Yeah, when he broke out of the chain, and how I liked how it was animated, where it just looked like it's not him just like ripping the chain off. It's like the chain is like shattering basically as he breaks off.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think that And so that added a lot to just that scene in general, I think, and how much more like powerful Killua is, obviously, than Milky.
Yeah.
By the way, while comparing this to the manga, I got reminded that Milky has a cigar in this scene, which I find very jarring. Much prefer the lighter.
I like the cigar. I think it's funny.
He looks so stupid. Okay,
That's
he looks
the point.
so stupid with the cigar, and that is the point. That is the point. But I also kind of prefer how much more juvenile it is to have a lighter with a cigar.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like that kind of adds more to the childish character of Milky more. I feel like.
I wonder what it was in 2011. I don't even really remember. Maybe they didn't even do that part.
Yeah, hard to say. I'll have to go back and check sometime.
Yeah.
It feels like the animation quality dropped the minute that Killua started talking to Silva. Silva ends up looking really cheap in certain shots, especially with very simple color shading compared to other shots. Yeah, you were kind of touching on that in our discussion earlier, Kaige, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't... Silva in particular was just very off-model in a lot of the scenes there, but what can you do? He is kind of a complicated design, so I sort of understand, but then again, yeah, they also animated Zeno really well just a few scenes ago, and he's arguably more complicated, so I don't know. Whatever.
Who knows what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the repeated tree approach. Looks cheap.
Oh, when Kyo was running, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Kikyo, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, typical, saving animation technique.
Yeah, that's a classic, yeah.
And that is not 99 specific. That's in so many anime. I can't even name all of them off the top of my head. Right? Yeah. I find it funny that Killua's mom has a TV screen static in her visor in one shot. Yeah. It was in 2 shots, actually. Yeah. So I like it though. I think it's creative. I think I prefer the father-son talk in 2011 more, if simply for the cool blue lighting, but this is distinctly fine.
Yeah, it's just kind of better on all fronts in 2011, in my opinion. I mean, it's pretty much 1-to-1. It does the blood finger, and it looks better. So, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like mosquito bites.
Yeah, they're not bumping mosquito bites.
And then finally to the last episode here of the batch. Not a lot to say about this one. Exactly what I expect or want out of this. Not a fan of Goto's voice. I thought it was fine.
It's different, but I think it's fine. I don't know.
I mean, it's not like we're going to see this character again anyways.
Ever again, so. Actually, yeah. Not here.
Doesn't even matter. I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. Generally, I think 1999 for episode 34 alone probably has the best version of this arc. But I could be persuaded either way.
I don't agree. I think 2011 is a massive improvement on all fronts to the manga even. The only thing I would take...
I like the Mike stuff more in this.
Yes, I think that's what I was about to say. The only thing I would take from 99 is the Mike. Basically the first 2 episodes. The last 3, no. Throw them out the window. I would rather have 2011 any day. Because you also got to think, 2011 also gave us this really cool extended flashback of seeing Canary actually fight sequence whole crew and stuff, which I really love.
You're right.
It's so cool. I don't know. 2011 really, they took this arc and ran with it, I think. I think they did a really good job with it. I do like I said, the Mike stuff and all the new Zebra stuff and Sequan in 99, but that's about it. Everything beyond that, I'd much prefer in 2011.
I think this might be a case for me where, if there was a perfect world where we can combine aspects of 1999 and 2011 together, this arc would kind of benefit from that sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with the Mike stuff. I think that was just really good stuff in general they had here. But just minor things too, some slight tonal differences in how scenes were portrayed in 99. I'd have to watch 2011 Zoldyck family arc again to say for certain, but I don't know. There's some things I think that could have been pulled from here into that, and it'd be for the better. But admittedly, it's been a long time since I've seen the Zoldyck family arc in 2011. So I guess my opinion is kind of moot on that note.
Yeah.
This arc is not one that really sticks out to me in any version, but I'm eagerly wading into the next arc, as I think it is the defining arc structural for setting up Hunter x Hunter as a story and exploring the successes and failures of 1999's version of that arc.
I'm excited.
So multifaceted. Yeah, no, it'll be a cool one to discuss, I think.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you for the write-in, as always. Insert name. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. Next up is from Xander, who says, missed my chance to comment in the last batch, but you guys did... sorry. I blew that. Last batch you guys did. So something real quick that I wanted to say. I love how Kurapika's red outfit is more accurate to the manga. Yeah, in terms of the look, but the color I still find debatable. Maybe it was red. I don't know. If somebody can find me somewhere where Togashi said it was red, or if there's like a note from production about 99 that was like, yeah, Togashi told us it was red, then I'll be all on board. But actually, no, I won't, because I still don't really like it being red. But
just backtracked it immediately.
But I'll at least be like, okay, fine. I still don't like it being red.
Right,
though.
I was wrong.
Red is not Kurapika's color.
No, it's not. Blue all day, every day. Just fits with the blonde better.
Yeah. Anyways, he says, not because it's red, but the design... Oh, you literally say what I just said. That's awesome. But the design of it changed between the Hunter exam and the Zoldyck family arc in the manga, so it's nice that they actually made it distinctly different here. In 2011, he just had the same outfit from the previous arc. Yeah, I agree on that front. Seeing Canary with red hair gives me whiplash, not gonna lie. Me too. You know how people complain about redheaded characters being replaced by black characters in fiction? This is the same thing but reversed, and they course corrected in 2011 and erased the 1999 whitewashing. LOL. I mean, I think she's still black here. It's just, it is definitely lighter than she is in 2011.
Yeah.
But I think that's just
I didn't
the
come
lighting.
into this episode thinking, like, what the hell, she's not black. Like, I definitely thought she was black still, right?
Yeah. Not much else to say here. The adaptation went like I thought it would. No complaints here. A couple of things seemed different, like the Canary Kilo skateboard thing. I don't remember that being in the 2011 or the manga. Fine addition, but nothing mind-blowing. Yeah, that's pretty much how we feel.
Yeah. The skateboard thing was anime original, for sure.
Yes, it was.
But
nobody's mentioned the skull yet.
Yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, I didn't even like catch on that the skull wasn't even in the other versions until you brought it up. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. Something that it's a very small detail too that's like not explicitly mentioned in the episode, so I can't really blame people for missing it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more comment to go through now. This will be a long one though, longer than insert names actually. If you agree with that. This is from Magitech. I'll just start by addressing something from last week. Yes, Kurapika's new outfit is in the manga. Deal with it.
But it's not red. We don't know if it's red. Tell me if it's red. Somebody.
Yeah. Just tell us if it's red or not. Also, the brain does appear too in 2011, but it's super brief and not an actual brain, but more of a silhouette of a brain. Oh. Okay, well.
I'd like to see that. I believe you, but I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah. Episode 34. I adore the children's book-like coloring of the flashback at the start, and it goes perfectly with the melancholic OST. Yes, I forgot to mention this in our discussion,
too, yeah.
but I thought the OST was very good for these episodes.
Yeah.
There's been so many episodes where like the OST is like obviously good, but it's like nothing like stand out. But there's a couple different tracks I played, specifically in that first episode, I think, where like it really like caught my attention almost immediately, like the tracks that we're playing. There's this nice one with like a flute that I really liked that I want to look into. But
yeah, we don't talk about the music enough. We gotta do better about that because it is.
We really do.
There is some really good tracks. One thing I want to say is I am really tired of that one bumper song though. Like when it gets serious, it's like dun 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 dun. It's like the weird like metal sound. I hate that. It sucks. It's awful. But whatever.
It always plays during the eye catch, right? If I remember.
Yeah, it's an eye catch song.
Yeah, it plays every episode now. So
because it's always serious. I liked the happy one, like the do 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 do. That was nice.
Yeah, that one's good. But yeah, I think it's just a little hard to talk about the OST or remember to talk about it when like 2011's is as iconic as it is.
Yeah, it does get overshadowed by 2011 soundtrack, but this is good too.
No, it's very good for sure. We do need to do better about talking about that more.
Yeah.
But yeah, setting the mood from the get-go. It's interesting how 2011 also decided to add flashbacks more at the start, while the manga reserves it for after the fight is over.
Mm-hmm.
That is a nice little like presentation change.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider.
It's a cool way to bookend it.
Man, I love how Canary and the episode in general is animated. Her moves are lightning fast while remaining elegant, especially with that moment with Leorio. Yeah, with
Yeah.
the flesh tie.
Yeah,
Right?
the flesh tie, yeah.
Yeah, it looked really nice for sure. This episode expands on a lot with Canary, from her past with Killua and her devotion to him, shown in both the symbolism of the skateboard she's protecting and the staff she's carrying, as well as her inner conflict with not wanting to kill these intruders because she knows they're Killua's friends, something she failed to be. The extra conversation she has with the group, while they're ready for a fight, she remains emotionless and is accused of being just like Mike, even as she gets plattered with Gon's blood. Leading all to the big thesis of the episode, what Gon says throughout his bruised up face, 99 holds no bars on that department. That even if she tries to appear like it, she ain't Mike. She's not a machine. No matter how much she was taught that or how much she tried to, she still has a heart and feelings for Killua, to the point where she carries that gift with her at all times wherever she goes. Yeah, I talked about it as well in our discussion, but I think the messaging is just really sweet in general. Just you're be who you want to be, right?
Yeah.
And I like how that kind of transitions into basically the same message that Silva tells Killua, like the very next episode. So, very thematic, just all around.
It's really nice.
In the manga and 2011, the turning point was Gon smashing a column, showing he could have fought back at any time. While here, it's when he asks her name, forcing her to confront this as a person and not a tool of the Zoldyck family. Yeah, I mean, Gon smashing the column is like a pretty memorable scene, I'd say. But I'm fine with how they approached it for here as well. I think it's just as effective.
I like both. I kind of didn't really mention that when we talked about it because they're kind of interchangeable to me. I think they both did a really good job. I don't know. I could take it or leave it either way.
It's a personal preference point at the end of the day, I think. Having Canary being cold and detached throughout the whole episode and then to finally see her crack at the end is such an amazing payout. One of my favorite episodes, hands down. Okay.
Fair.
Very hot on episode 34 all around in these comments.
We might have a little bit of a hot take on that one, but that's okay. We didn't hate it by any means. I thought it was pretty good. No. But yeah, I guess we were
I just think the pacing of the first half of the episode specifically just kind of bogged it down a little for me, but I liked everything else.
Yeah. And the sound effects were pretty damn rough, if you ask me. But episode 35, we're finally here, finally meeting the Zoldyck clan. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about them. Not a whole lot, honestly. Yeah, obviously. I thought they were pretty solid overall.
Yeah.
Almost immediately, we're hit with some new content. While 2011 gives us more with Little Killua, Canary, and Ilumi, 99 gives us flashbacks of Killua running away from home and stabbing his family. Yep. Also, a small change in 2011, Miliki just whips Killua while... Okay, so there you go. There's our answer. As long as they're right. On the manga, he also burns him with the cigarette butts, and here he just uses a lighter directly. It's disturbingly visceral, probably because it's such a mundane object. It somehow feels more real and brutal. And I don't know about you guys, but I really like Miliki going kind of crazy over his mosquito bombs. Yes, I love that. Shows he has a lot of his mother in him. That's true. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, you can read it as like Killua was a lot more like his dad in some ways, while Miliki is very obviously like his mother. Not like Silva at all.
Not even close. I really want to know what you guys have to say about this version of Silva, but I'll admit it, the 2011 version is better at interior design. I guess that's like two separate statements there. Silva, I think, is pretty good. I mean, I like him more in 2011, I can say, just because he looks more visually consistent. There's just some weird character design problems with this one, but I thought characterization-wise, he was pretty perfect. I mean, I didn't have much to say.
Silva.
He's Silva. 99 is trying with some of those thighs hanging up near Silva. Wait, what?
Thighs. Wait, I'm turning the episode back on real quick. Keep talking.
Okay. But the room in general looks just too normal. It does compensate it with stuff like the sound of the fireplace and Kilowa's clear unrest. True. So the thighs, anything?
The thighs. I'm getting to the Silva scene right now. Hold on.
Okay. I'm looking in the manga too to see if I see
I need
thighs.
to know what's being talked about here.
Yeah, I have no idea. We don't get to see really much of the room actually in the manga. It's pretty much just white backgrounds for the most part. We see the dog and we see some pillows, but that's kind of it.
I don't know what you're talking about here, honestly. I mean, maybe it's the pillows. There's just like an abundance of pillows on the bed, but like, or thighs hanging up.
So okay, I will say one thing. It's gonna be really hard to see because it's in the center, but there's like a body kind of thing hanging.
Yeah, I noticed that in the episode as well. Just now. There's like a body and like a little like bug thing hanging up.
Yeah, those are both there in the manga.
Thighs from though? That's my question.
Well,
you'll have to elaborate, as I'm definitely curious what you're seeing.
Yeah. But yeah, this episode has a lot of little changes and additions to the point where it's not easy or even productive to name them all. But one thing I do want to highlight was when Silva asked him if he wants to see his friends again, Kilo answered, "I'm no longer qualified to be his friend," a theme throughout his mini arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And yeah, we kind of briefly touched on that when talking about the episode, but you know, they do add a lot of little dialogue interactions or whatever to the Killua and Silva scene, but as you said yourself, it's kind of, they're just so minor that there's not even really any reason to talk about them all. It is just more small talk, which I like. I think it's cool to get even just a little more insight into how Silva thinks, even if it's not from Togashi himself. But yeah, I thought they did a good 100%. Job. That and Kabuto popping here and there in those flashbacks. He has always been a rather mysterious Zoldyck, and this episode really does push that through with him almost never saying a word.
That's called, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that too.
Episode 36. We're finally at the mansion. Another scene with no canon to adhere to. The conversation between Goto and Kikyo. In 2011, it's face-to-face, while here it's on the phone. This is probably because 99 is playing tighter with the timeline to create suspense, while in 2011 it's shown that it's not a matter of time at all, but rather skill and deception. I didn't remember that 2011 that's how it played out, actually. Oh.
No, I didn't either.
Well, dang, we should know more of our stuff, I guess.
I guess so.
That's kind of a key difference. But yeah, no, good point. Speaking of deception, love the suspense when Goto pulls something out of his pocket just to reveal a coin.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, yeah. He pulled out very, very slowly.
Yeah, they all like gasped too, like right before he pulled it out.
Which, by the way, I prefer the design in 2011. Here it looks more like an arcade token or something like that.
True.
Admittedly, not that I really ever paid attention to the design of the coin in 2011.
Yeah, I can't say I remember what it looked like in 2011, but sure.
A small change I want to point out is how in the original and 2011, Gon asks for Leorio's knife.
Okay.
Well, here he uses a knife from the table.
Yeah. Man, I wish I remembered to bring that up. I just now reading that, I remembered thinking that when I was reading it today on my lunch break. I was like, wait a minute. What? That's just another random ass 99 change. Like, why didn't he just ask for Leorio's knife? I don't understand. I'm really glad somebody brought that up because I was stunned for a minute at work today reading that.
Very random change. Like, that was one that did not need to be. Like, what need was there to change it? I'm genuinely curious.
I don't know. Right? I have no idea.
I mentioned this because the type of knife actually changes in all three versions. This is crazy. In the manga, it's a butterfly knife. In 2011, it's more of a hunter's knife. And here, it's a fruit knife. Which, I don't know if any one of you has ever handled one, but they're really dangerously sharp.
Maybe that's why they did it. They just wanted to make it extra clear, like, Gon is doing a good job at cutting. I don't know. I can't really fathom.
It's kind of dangerous to lace your eye with
that
sharp.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Different in all three versions. That's hilarious. For
That's
what?
amazing.
For what? For this?
No
scene?
reason.
Another thing I want to point out is that the butler is holding his sword at Gon's neck at all times. Nice detail. Yeah, for sure. It's funny how, yet again, both adaptations had a scene in almost the same part. One with Killua complaining that he's tired of waiting, and here with Canary and Goto, which I kind of like, pushes forward a sense of camaraderie between the butlers that is paid later when they point out that this is her chance to get the skateboard back, only for Killua to tell her to keep it. And I hate that this isn't canon, because A, I really don't like the cold treatment she gets here in 2011, and B, we could have had Canary skateboarding her way through the chairman election arc, but I guess Tagashi, Latemel Exito? I hope I said that right.
You probably didn't, but that's
sorry.
okay.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, good point, though. Like, that didn't happen in 2011. Yeah, she just kind of was ignored, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent all around. I think it's fine as is, but
yeah,
I'll take the skateboard. I don't know. I don't really care about the skateboard edition, to be completely honest with you. But all the power to you if you like it. I mean, it's not harmful in any way. I just kind of don't really think it adds a whole lot.
You know, Canary skateboarding in the chairman election arc does sound very entertaining.
That would be pretty fire. Yeah, I can't lie.
Afterwards, only a series of small things that add up. The scene with Gon and Killua talking in the train at midnight is really sweet. The music going from dark and intense when Kurapika talks about the auction to the light theme of a new adventure starting. Leorio telling Gon how he learned about tenacity from him. And finally, around here was the manga chapter where Tagashi announced his marriage with Naoko Takeuchi, and I just wanted to mention that.
Yes.
That's so sweet. Wow.
Yeah, there's a little like interim thing between the chapters where he's talking about preparing for the wedding. It's really cute.
That's so cute. And then finally, we end off here. Community comments saying, next time, Heaven's Arena.
Yes.
Indeed.
Can't wait to hear from all of you again about thoughts on that. I'm excited to get into it.
I expect a lot more write-ins for that arc.
I hope so, yeah.
Hope to see you all there.
To be honest, even I struggled a little bit with talking about the Zoldyck family stuff. It's not a super like meaty arc. Like there's not a lot for me to sink my teeth into, and I think, to be honest, that's probably why a lot of people here latched on to that Canary episode so much, because it's probably the most like emotionally profound episode in this arc.
I agree for sure, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Definitely had to kind of pull out more abstract discussion, I think, overall for this arc.
Yeah.
Which thankfully, ends up for pretty lengthy episodes. So, hopefully it's still entertaining to you guys. But yeah. I can't wait to talk about more like in your face topics, I think. Yeah, that'll be presented in Heaven's Arena.
Yes.
It'll be really interesting on a presentation scale, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with that being said, that's it for community comments for this week. Give the usual reminder again, if you want to get in on the fun discussing any given topic, make sure you keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts, as well as our call-out posts on Twitter and Bluesky. And of course, you can always email us your thoughts, if you so please, at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com.
That's right. And with that, this has been the Hunter Association. Thank you so much for listening. We are available on all major podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube for the video version. Be sure to follow, rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter at TXHXAPod, as well as Bluesky at THAPod for updates on the show and as an alternative way to submit responses to the weekly call-out posts. As always, we'll be here the same time every week talking about Hunter x Hunter. Dylan, where can people find you online?
You can find me online at DJ Tengen. That's DJTENGEN on Twitter and Bluesky. I won a One Piece card game tournament recently.
Yes.
I tweeted about that.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, go check me out if you're interested in my One Piece card game adventures. That's pretty much all I've been tweeting about. Okay, that's a lie. I tweeted about Power Rangers today, actually.
Nice.
So, yeah, Fortnite. It's awesome.
Fortnite.
Anyways, go follow me if you're interested.
And you can find me on Bluesky and YouTube at Manga Kaige. I don't post a whole lot on social media, but I do upload YouTube videos. I just did one on Vinland Saga. If you are interested in Vinland Saga, don't watch it if you haven't read it. A lot of spoilers in it, but I like that video. Put a lot of heart into it. Spoke from the heart.
Definitely go check out this man's content, guys. He puts a lot of work into all of his videos. It's incredibly worth it as a viewer. So
Thank you. And for this show, next week, you can come back here and we can talk about Nen abilities. We're going to be doing a, it is a tier list. We're going to be ranking them, but we're also just kind of going to be generally talking about damn near every Nen ability ever in the series.
I feel like it's inevitable that we probably do end up missing a couple, for whatever reason. But
yeah,
we're going to talk about as many as we can, ranking as many as we can, just based purely on what our favorites are, essentially. So, more details to come on how that'll actually, pan out. But you can expect a YouTube community post and the call-out post as per usual for that. And you guys can discuss with us your favorite Nen abilities. So be sure to keep an eye out for that for next week.
Yes. Looking forward to it. It'll be a fun one.
Definitely.
All right. That's what we got for this week then. And, we'll see you guys for a Nen ability discussion next week. Fitting, because we're about to learn about Nen in 99.
Lines up pretty nicely, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But until then, take it easy, guys.
Yep. See you guys.